and we're back to learning Premiere Pro, and this time I'm going to show you how to create a fully customizable countdown. Already made a couple of videos about countdowns, but the one that we're going to create here is fully customizable manually. Let me first create a background, right click in my projects menu, black video, and I'll use the typical YouTube size 1920x1080. I drag it into my timeline. Let us first adjust the duration of it, and you want to have a duration for the background in this case that fits your countdown. When you use a video, don't worry about it too much. We can set the duration for the text element, but in this case right click, speed and duration, and then adjust it. I want to make a countdown for 5 seconds and then press OK. Now I know that my text element only has to be as long as my black video background. I use T, the type tool. You can also press T on your keyboard or click on the T right here. Click in the preview window and type in the first number. So in this case, it's 5 seconds. As I've said, if you want to make it longer or shorter, you'll have to adjust the speed and duration of this element via right click. So in this case, I've got a background. I would have to adjust that as well. But I'll start with 5 seconds. But for me, 5 seconds is fine. Press enter, then go down 1 second after another until you've arrived at 0000. Don't worry too much if all the numbers are visible. We're going to adjust the position later on anyway. Next, create a new text element. Make sure that you've got the previous text element deselected. So just click somewhere in your timeline and then press the T, the type tool again. Click on your preview window and type in the number. In this case, I want to have it 0005. You can switch to the graphics layout and edit and center it if you want the countdown to be in center. Or you can adjust the position manually. So maybe you want to have it at the bottom right. Let me just do this to show you this. So this is our position for the countdown, and now we'll get back to all of the numbers that we've created in the other element, and we'll adjust it under position for the vector motion. So don't get confused, we've got 2 text elements, and one is just a placeholder that we need to determine the position, and the other one contains all the numbers that we need. Alright, we're good to go for the next step. Use the text element that has all the numbers, so make sure it's active. Click on it in the timeline. And now we'll get to the position of the vector motion. Let's get to the starting position right here for the time. Click on the animation icon for position, go to the end, create a new keyframe. Let me go back a little bit so that you can see it with the keyframe. I will readjust it later on. Reposition your vector element so that now the last number is where the placeholder is. So in this case 0005 and 0000 are on top of one another. And now I'll reposition this last keyframe to the end. And this is what it does. Let me roll the clip. So it just moves upwards. And this is what we want for this step. Now we don't need a placeholder anymore. Let me delete this text element that only contained the 0005. We are ready for the next step. Go back to the starting position. We want to create a mask. Don't get confused, there are many drop downs that offer a mask. For example here the text, but we need to go to the video and then opacity, open the drop down. And then, for example, use the pen tool. Create a mask around this position of the first number. You can readjust these anchor points. Just left click and drag. So don't make it too big. Something like this should be fine. Now if I roll the clip, only this part is visible in the video. And we are almost done. Final step that we can add is a posterized time effect. Type it into your effects menu and then drag and drop it on the text element. Here it is in effect controls. And the frame rate is 24 per second. If we go down to 1, only 1 frame is visible per second, and this gives us exactly what we want. So let me just increase the frame rate and you can see better what's happening. Let me put it to 2. And you can still see that the vector element, it moves upwards, but as only 1 frame is seen per second, it looks like it's static. You can still adjust the text right here. For example, give it a different fill color. If you want to change the scale and the position, it's best to just nest it. So right click on it, nest it, call it whatever you want, press OK. And now you can adjust the position under motion right here. So that way the mask is repositioned as well automatically. Let me scale it up and I put it a little bit upwards. So if I scale it now up, the mask is also scaled up and that keeps this entire effect for the countdown. And this is how you can create such a fully manually customizable countdown in Premiere Pro. I hope this video was helpful, thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.